There's somebody interesting to watch on YouTube. If you're a prepper, you might find this interesting. The guy calls himself Billiam Bluggenheimer, originally known as Cheap Charlie. He's not a prepper. He used to run these live feeds in Pattaya, traveling to different places in Asia. I mean, he was over there a good many years. He basically was an alcoholic. He drank a lot. He made some really crazy live streams. And since the virus hit, he sat in his basement for a couple of years, and now he's come out. And now he's kind of walking across USA doing a live stream. He's got himself a very good Apple phone. He's bought in the best, which I think it runs about $1,500. And he's streaming for 12 hours. I mean, it's crazy. His subscribers, they like him. They're tipping him. He's doing pretty good, anywhere from a $500 to $1,000 day. And but he's made a lot of mistakes, and he's admitted he doesn't really know what he's doing. He watched some videos. He's trying to go with the ultra light pack setup. I believe he's under 10 pounds. He doesn't run a stove. He doesn't carry really any food. Very limited on what he's carrying. Now, since then, his first day he did 20 miles. Then he went and grabbed a motel. Then he did, I think it was 18 miles. I mean, he's doing anywhere between 15 and 20-mile days. He found out he needed a new pair of shoes, so he did invest in a new pair of shoes because his old ones had holes in them. And now his feet are basically foobarred. He's got blisters everywhere. Some of his subscribers are helping him. He had a guy show up in a vehicle and drive him over to a Walgreens to pick up some stuff to put on his feet, but he even doesn't know how to do that properly. You know, you're supposed to cut off little pieces, and if you got a blister, put it there to prevent the rubbing on the shoe. He didn't do that. He grabbed the moleskin that he bought and just wrapped it on his foot. I was like, wow, you're going to have some more blisters. And he woke up this morning. Now, he made a mistake. He seems to doesn't want to sleep at night. I don't know if he's afraid, but he's actually walking, and he walks till like 11, 12 o'clock at night. He just keeps walking. I don't know if he's trying to make more money off the tips from the subscribers, but he was working his way to a campground and he couldn't find it. It's too dark. And he ended up sleeping underneath the picnic table where it was probably illegal. But he didn't sleep much. He slept maybe 4 hours and he got up, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and started going again. He doesn't seem to sleep very much when he's sleeping inside a bivvy. So this morning, he's actually on the hunt for a coffee and something to eat. And I believe he's got to walk like 6 miles before he'll even reach that. Because, I mean, he's got money in his account. He just has to reach a town and go to a restaurant and get what he needs. I suggested he carry a light stove, make his own coffee, and maybe carry some Pop Tarts as an emergency, in case that situation ever arises. But he actually said, I'm trying to do the ultralight thing. And I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do, you know. But some of it's pretty hilarious. If he continues down the road he's going right now, his feet are going to be really food barred. He's gonna have to go home for a month. His feet are getting really rough.
This is what you look like after camping. Not getting much sleep and no coffee. Trisha says, be mindful of ticks. I haven't had any problems with ticks yet, but I haven't really been in deep woods too much. Will Rose says feet blisters will continue eating through. Will put off your feet for weeks. Yeah, that's I might have to try to rest for a couple days. Just do some light streaming. Find a hotel room somewhere, and cut the walking out. That's the trail over there. Okay, I got off the trail. I have to get my feet healed because if I can't, like I said, I can't barely walk right now. So I think they'd probably just heal up in a few days if I just didn't walk on them much. But wouldn't be it kind of suck to sit in a hotel for 3 days. Be paying money and not live streaming, not doing nothing. But I don't know what else to do.
So you have to take care of your feet, especially if shit hits the fan or any situation. I mean, your feet are your wheels, and if you don't take care of your wheels, well, you're going to be in really deep trouble. We had some drama pop up. I mean, Apocalyptic Ben 3311 got into it with Prepper by Faith, and he apparently wrote a comment, and his comment got removed because I guess Prepping with Faith disagreed with it. And what Ben hasn't learned is a lot of YouTube is like that. I mean, it's like all YouTubers want to hear is great things. They don't like constructive criticism. They don't like a different opinion. It's like all you need to write in the comment section is "You're wonderful," and that seems to be the majority of YouTube. If you don't, they ban you. They kick you to the curb, which is really bad that YouTube has devised this system because they say they're doing it to prevent trolls, but they're really making it extremely easy for e-beggars on YouTube. And I'm not talking about Prepping by Faith or Ben here whatsoever in this statement. Because YouTube has it where if you're an e-beggar on YouTube, you can simply just ban somebody when they say something you don't like. Well, now you control the entire narrative of everything that's going on. So now you can really take advantage of people. And it goes on YouTube on a constant basis. That is not what's happening here. What's happening here is Ben apparently voiced his opinion. Apparently, Prepping by Faith didn't like it, and it was removed. When that happened, Ben made a video, and then some other guy out of nowhere named Red Reaper made a video, and he seems to attack quite a few people, the guy Red Reaper. And Prepping by Faith made a video, but she didn't want to use anybody's names because she was trying to play it safe. Some of the things she said in that video made me really question. I mean, Prepping by Faith had said something in a way of Angelica religion basically was the leaders in prepping or something to that. And I was like, wow, really? You really believe that? Some people would argue and say the Omnis, the Mennonites. You can even go back and say the Indians were the first. And if it wasn't for the Indians, we wouldn't even be here because they showed us how to put food underground. I mean, that is a pretty wild statement. So whether these two are going to get their differences worked out, I don't know. That's the crazy thing. On another note, Modern Refugee went out with his buddy. He was out hiking for a couple nights or one night or something like that in this hot weather. He's not as hot as we are in Tennessee. He said he was sitting at like 90 Fahrenheit. We're sitting about 110 Fahrenheit here in Tennessee. It is crazy how hot it is out there. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, you are just soaking wet when you go out there. It's just nuts. You definitely have to be very, very careful what's going on. I am trying to plan a hiking trip. This one's going to be a little bit different. Normally, I go out my pack and my dog, and I'm carrying around 30 pounds, and me and my dog can actually sleep in the tent to get away from the bugs. My son wants to go. He's 26, and I'm like, how are we going to do this? Now, I do have another tent. It's 10 pounds, and it will hold 4 or 5 people quite easily. So I pulled the pack off the wall and we tried it on him, and we're going with maybe 15 pounds on his back to where he carries the 10-pound tent, and a couple little things. Like he doesn't need to carry pots and pans, he doesn't need to carry a lot of stuff that I already have. So it allows us to kind of split up the gear. And in a way, we're going a little bit luxury that way, aren't we? So that's something we're working toward. I don't know if it'll be this week, next week, but it's something I'm trying to actually get to between doing the sub pump that I'm working on. I've been working on putting a sub pump in the bunker. Um, I've had this stuff for over a year. I just was too lazy. So I've been basically cutting a hole in the concrete floor. I got a quarter of it done. It's very slow going. I do about 3 or 4 hours every day, and I've been working quite a bit too. But other than that, YouTube seems to be pretty boring what I've seen the last couple of weeks. I mean, I don't see that many people uploading videos. I don't know if it's because of summer. Um, I just don't see that many people really doing it. And who knows? Maybe people are leaving YouTube. It's hard to say. But I'll have links to Ben's video where he talks about prepping by faith, and I'll have a link to prepping by faith video where she talks about how religion is God and everything in the world. And I'll even have a link to Red Reaper, and you can see what he has to say. And I'll even have a link to Billiam Bluggenheimer, where you can see his feeds if you choose to. I don't know if you'll watch the full 12 hours of each day, but you might find it interesting. He talks the whole 12 hours. Blows my mind away. And the only thing stopping him right now, like I said, is his feet. And you really got, it's a perfect example when you watch his video on, how important your feet are. But I have found it interesting watching him as he travels and the mistakes he made. And some of the mistakes he makes, he doesn't learn from, which has really got me scratching my head. He talks about hiking the Appalachian Trail, and if he does, he might get himself in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have much experience when it comes to this hiking stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys on the next one.